Hey, Federal Way, Kent. It's Slim Jim, and I am joined today by a very special guest.
Hi.
I've got Candace McCutcheon, who is the owner of I Love Kickboxing in Las Vegas, Southwest. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to our cool community.
I'm really excited. Your guys' members have been fantastic. You guys have been great. I was visiting the last couple of studios and I've had a great time.
Yeah, it's just awesome having her here, and where we learn from each other. That's what we do. So it's just great having her in our studio and going over some stuff. So we have been talking about the 6-week challenge, and you are pumped up about watching all of our members sign up for this North-South challenge.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
I think we need like a East Coast, West Coast type of challenge here soon.
Yeah, we may have to include a third studio in the challenge next time, guys. So, but we were talking about 6-week challenges. Candace's team has been doing 6-week challenges for how long now?
A little bit over a year. We started and we love them.
Yeah, so they've got a lot more 6-week challenges under their belt than we do. So and in terms of just really going over successes and stuff, you guys know I'm really big on looking at survey results and studying everything. And so I went over all the survey results with Candace, and we had a couple suggestions that we wanted to throw out at everybody for this challenge that is starting Monday, March 2nd. So so with that, a couple changes. Now these are optional, so I don't want anybody to freak out. If you don't want to do it, it's absolutely cool. But we are always striving to make sure that when you guys do the work, that you get the absolute best results possible. Okay, so with that, one of the big changes we're going to make is for those of you that don't want to, you're not going to have to track your food anymore in any kind of an app. So you're not going to have to use the MyFitnessPal app or the Lose It app or any of those kinds of apps anymore to track your food. So the reason why is we are really going to focus on the meal plans that we give you. Okay, so guys, as you remember, in each in your materials for the challenge, you get all of the meal plans. All right, and the meal plans look like this, and I'm going to be showing you some details of that in the video. But we really just want to talk about it. So we thought we would, first, let's just talk about the meal plan. So why do you like the meal plan so much?
I love the meal plan because I feel like a lot of times it can be so confusing knowing what to eat and when to eat and how to eat. And tracking calories in your stats, that's a fantastic thing to do. For some people, it can really cause a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, right.
And just because you're tracking your calories, it doesn't also always mean that you're eating the correct type of calories. So this meal plan is so great. It helps people really understand how to pair your foods, what types of foods to eat, when to eat them, and it sets you up for not just a 6-week challenge worth of nutrition. It's like a lifestyle of obtainable food. You learn what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat, and that's really hard if you don't have somebody or you've never been taught that. It's really hard to understand that, and this does it in a color-coded, simple way that anybody can follow, and it just takes so much stress away. I love it.
Exactly. And so as they look at the graphics and stuff on their screen, we'll just kind of walk them through it real quick. So first of all, it's all color coded. So we have 4 main categories, right? And so let's go through those and what the colors are.
Yeah, it's all color coded. So at the top, you're going to see the blue, which is going to be your list of proteins. So everything under that blue list is anything that you can eat. Okay. Then you go one over, and that's going to be your fat. So your fats are yellows. And again, you can have anything in that list, okay? And then you're going to move to the next one, which is going to be your carbs. And this is such an important category because a lot of people tend to not want to eat carbs, and they're good. They just get a bad rap. So this is going to be all the different carbs that you can eat. And then the next category is going to be green, and that's going to be your veggie category. And this is the only list that's going to tell you what you can't eat. So this one's a little tricky. If you look at it, it says 1 cup of any vegetable except those items. But anything other than those items, like those are all fair game. So now that we know our colors and our lists, one quick thing about it. If it's not on this list, you cannot have it ever.
Can't eat it. Can't eat it.
Never, never, never. So if you ask your coaches, oh, can I have this? They should always respond to you, is it on the list? And if the answer is no, you cannot have it. So that's rule number one. Okay, so now that we know our colors and our categories, right underneath that is going to be your plates. So if you just look down a little bit further, then you're gonna see your breakfast plate, and it says breakfast on it. And if you notice, it also is color coded. So you have a green, a blue, and an orange. So how we would read this and how we would figure this out is we would go to the green category, which is our veggie category, and we would have one serving of the green category, okay? Then we have the blue, so we're gonna go to the protein, and we're gonna go and pick one serving out of that list of protein. And then we're also gonna do one orange for breakfast. So we're gonna pick one carb. So really what that means is our breakfast plate is gonna have a protein, a veggie, and a carb. Super, super simple. Now, just really quickly, one thing to remember is when you're picking the item from that color, so like let's just go blue, breakfast has one blue, we're gonna go to the protein. The amount that it shows you, so if it says 6 ounces of chicken breast, everyone's is going to be different because it's custom to everyone, which is why I love it so much. But if it says 6 ounces of chicken breast, you're going to eat all 6 ounces on that breakfast plate. Does that make sense?
And it's really important that you eat the food, right?
Yeah.
These meal plans are really, they were all designed by nutritionists, and they're all designed for you to complete that. So you're not doing any favors by cutting the portion control and not eating it all. You've got to get enough food in so your body doesn't really go in starvation mode, right? The other thing that's important to point out when you're looking at breakfast is there is no fat, right? Now, I like to put a little bit of butter in when I make my eggs. So what's your suggestion there?
We're not doing that.
Because why?
Because it's not on the list.
It's not on the list. Butter's not on, fat's not on the list for breakfast.
Butter is on the list, but it's on the yellow category. And if you look at your plates, you only get the yellow category at certain times. So that's why we're not going to do it. But what you can do is a lot of people don't realize that when you're cooking, you can substitute water for butter or oil.
Right.
I do it all the time. I'm a huge vegetable fan. I love asparagus and mushrooms. I don't use the oil. I just, instead of a tablespoon of oil, I use a tablespoon of water. And you can do the same thing with your vegetables and your eggs in the morning. So just a tiny bit of water on a hot skillet, and you're good to go.
Okay. So if I wanted to put just a little bit of water in with some spinach and mix that up and then throw my eggs in there, I can do that.
That is my favorite. So
see, I'm already thinking.
He's got it. I told you, it's very simple. So yeah, that's how we're gonna do our breakfast. So after we do our breakfast, you're gonna notice the next thing that we have coming up is going to be a shake. Okay, and so what we want to do with this is we want to make sure that we don't go more than 3 hours after breakfast to have that shake. Okay, now that means that if you eat your breakfast and then in an hour you're hungry, you can have your shake then. You don't have to wait 3 hours. We just don't want to go any longer than 3 hours.
All right.
So we have breakfast plate, then we have a shake. Okay, then we go another 3 hours at the latest, and then we start our lunch. So we go back to the chart and we have one orange. So we're gonna pick one thing out of the orange. We have one blue, so we're gonna pick one protein, and then we have one green, so we're gonna pick a veggie, and that is going to be our lunch plate.
Cool.
Questions so far?
No, sounds great. I think I'm following it pretty closely. but and then we have an opportunity for another shake again.
Yeah,
and again, these not an opportunity.
No.
Correct me.
Not opportunity. Why is it not an opportunity?
Because it's on the list. We have to eat it.
Correct.
And it's honestly part of the calories and stuff that we've calculated in that you need in order to keep your body out of starvation mode. So yes.
And you know, a lot of people, that's one area that a lot of people think they're really helping themselves by cutting food out because it makes sense, right? Like, I'm not going to eat that shake. I'll save those calories and burn them later. But the problem with that is, like you said, you go into starvation mode and you're actually going to put yourself backwards. Your body's going to hold on to the weight. It's going to hold on to the fat specifically. And all that hard work that you're doing coming to class to build those muscles, that's what your body is using to expel your energy. It's going to hold on to your fat. So we don't want to do that. You have to eat all of your food, all 6 ounces, all snacks.
Yep. Exactly. So then we are going to have that shake, and then we're going to go into dinner. Now, dinner's a little bit different than breakfast and lunch. You want to tell them why?
Yes, so in dinner, we are going to have that fat now, but we are going to substitute the carb for the fat. So you will not have a carb at dinner. You will have a fat though. One thing I want to clarify for you, so if you are going to cook your vegetable or something like that in a butter, that would be your fat.
Right, you don't have an additional.
Correct.
Right.
I choose to save my fat, so I am a peanut butter person. So I like to have a tablespoon of peanut butter before I go to bed.
I like avocado.
Yeah.
So that means I wouldn't do the butter if I'm going to have my avocado, right?
Correct.
So
yeah. Then you're gonna have your dinner, and then tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you're gonna do the same thing all over again. You just pick one item out of each color coordinated category, and that's how you build your plates.
Cool. Now, I'm not really a big breakfast eater.
Okay.
Okay. So I just don't like starting my day off with, like 6 ounces of, chicken, or even having a bunch of eggs. I'm just not, I don't want to do that. So what options do I have?
That is actually a great question. So what you would do in this case is you can switch your shake for your breakfast. So you can start the morning off with your shake.
Okay.
Which is actually a really great tip for like busy moms or anybody who's on their way to work and they don't have time to have breakfast. You can drink the shake in the car. So that's a great solution. And then no more than how many hours later?
3.
Then you'll have your breakfast.
Right. Okay.
And if you don't like breakfast, guys, you don't have to call it breakfast.
Right.
If you're, want to call it first lunch.
Right.
Instead
right.
of breakfast.
Because there's chicken, there's,
Yeah.
there's all lean turkey, there's all kinds of cool things on there. It's not just eggs, right?
Correct.
So you could have 2 lunches basically, because it's this from the same exact plate color system.
Yeah.
Right.
And I get a lot of people who ask too, if they're coming to the 5 a.m. class or the 5:30 or the 6 class, do I have to eat breakfast before I come? No, you don't. Some people are okay working out with an empty stomach. Some people are not. I personally need something in my system. So if I was a 6 a.m.er or a 5 a.m.er, what I would do is I would have my shake and not have a full plate of breakfast and then go and work out.
Right.
So if you have to eat before class and you're waking up super, super early, then you can have your shake, and then after class you can have your breakfast.
Right. And again, just to be clear, because she loves to say the magic words, can I have my protein bar?
No.
Why not?
Because it's on the list. It's not on the list. It's tough love time. People, we want to have great results. So stick to the list.
We're going to make signs up saying it's not on the list, because that's what you're going to be hearing from the staff when they talk to you about the meal plan, right? They're going to be saying, is it on the list? And if it's not on the list, guess what? For 42 days, guys, we're taking it off the list.
Yeah.
Or we're taking it off what we're going to eat. So
yes. And I get a lot of people who ask too, why can I have a protein shake but not a protein bar? So while we're talking about the shake real quick, I do just want to make sure that when you're looking at this plane, you guys are really paying attention with the amount of carbs in that protein shake. So we're looking for a 20 grams minimum of protein powder, and we want the carbs to be no more than 5 grams of carbs. The sugar no more than 1 gram. So it does say that on your meal plan, but just that's another big area where people really can mess this up, where you follow this and you're not losing any weight, and then we look at their protein and that's why. So when you compare that to a protein bar, the protein bars are designed to kind of give you that energy as well. So they're typically higher in carbs as well. That's why you can't do both, in case you were wondering.
Cool. And we're going to help you with, any of your supplements and stuff. We'll help you with that. If you want to buy your supplements from Amazon or GNC, we're cool with that. We just want to make sure you're eating the right stuff. But we're going to guide you on what we like and what we don't like. We obviously, if you've ever had a terrible protein shake before, we don't want you to have that experience. So we'll share with you the flavors and the brands that we like the most. So that is the first part of the meal plan. The second part is on the back of the sheet, or on page 2 in your guide. You also have a grocery list right? Where we're going to help you with groceries. So as you guys are looking at this, let's have Candace kind of talk you through it.
Yeah, this is really designed to help you save time and save money. So just to make it super simple, right? We want to make this challenge as easy as possible so you can be the most successful as possible. So the first thing that you're going to do, and what I would suggest, is for the first 2 weeks, really get familiar with the plan before you start to go crazy with it. So I would suggest for the first week, we eat the same breakfast for at least 5 days, if not all 7. The same lunch for all 7 days and the same dinner for all 7 days. Just for the first week, so that way you can get familiar with, what you're trying to do. So when we do that, what we're gonna do is, on this plan, you're gonna see in the middle, there's a step 1, insert the meal you want to make here. So you're gonna pick your protein first under breakfast. So protein, we're gonna go to the top, and let's just make it easy. We're gonna do chicken. So if you notice, it says 2 pounds of chicken breast. So you're gonna write 2 pounds of chicken breast under protein. Then you're gonna go to the carb, and you're gonna figure out what carb you're gonna have. I really like sweet potatoes with chicken in the morning, so I'm gonna go with sweet potatoes. So if I go under carb, it says 1 bag of sweet potatoes. So under breakfast carb, I'm gonna write 1 bag of sweet potato. Then I'm gonna go to the veggies, and I'm gonna pick, I love asparagus, so we're gonna go with asparagus. So 3 pounds of asparagus. So now for breakfast, it should say 2 pounds of chicken breast, it should say 1 bag of sweet potatoes, and it should say 3 pounds of asparagus. Now I'm gonna do the same thing for lunch. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna want to eat for lunch, and I'm gonna write down the protein, the carb, and the veggie, and then the dinner. And the best part about it is you just created how much you need of everything when you go to the grocery store. So you're literally gonna be able to take this and say, go up to the butcher counter or go to Costco. Or do you guys have Costco?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
yeah.
Go to Costco. I love buying in bulk because you save a lot. And I'm gonna say, okay, I need a 3-pound bag of chicken, I need 2 bags of sweet potatoes, and I need 6 pounds of asparagus. And you're done.
Yeah.
You don't have to wander the aisles. You don't have to figure out what you want to eat. It's all there. So that's what this is designed for. When you're selecting these items now, it's a much higher quantity, but that's because it's telling you how much to buy for the week, so that way you're all set up. Very cost effective, and your groceries should actually be much cheaper because you're not buying all that other crap anymore.
Yeah, that's the most expensive stuff, all that man-made stuff.
Yeah.
Now, we want to point out that if you don't have a food scale, we really think that you should, purchase one of those. And again, I'll put a link into this video, on a couple from Amazon you can buy. They're very inexpensive, $10, but that way you get to measure exactly in your portion control, because it's really important when it says that you're going to have, X amount of ounces, 4 or 6 ounces of chicken, depending on which plan you're going to be on, that you know exactly how much chicken you're eating. So we're going to want you to measure that out.
Yes.
So that's about that. And then the next section that we talk about in the document is about your being able to use spices and stuff to really bring the flavor of your food out. Talk about how important it is to be able to really use flavoring and sauces.
So do you like plain
Spices.
chicken breast with nothing on it?
No, I really don't. No.
Me either. I could not eat that 2 days in a row if you made me. So sometimes we get in the mentality that eating clean means we have to eat bland, and that's not the case at all. So on this meal plan, you can have any types of spices that you want. Some of my favorites, I buy the taco seasoning sometimes, and I'll put that with my turkey when I'm having it for lunch, and then I can put the black beans for my carbs, and it's like I make a taco bowl. It's perfect. You can do Italian seasoning, you can do cayenne pepper. I use hot sauce on everything. I'm a big hot sauce and Creole seasoning fan.
Okay.
Love spicy food. So use those. Don't make yourself miserable by eating bland food. You can use all kinds of spices. So really make sure that you're creative in what it is that you're using.
Yeah, and if you're meal planning it out and you're doing all the meal prep on a Sunday, use a different spice every day. Don't use the same spice throughout the entire thing. Change it up. Be a little chef in your kitchen.
It's fun.
So
and then at the bottom, so where we are talking about the spices, these are also a list of any sauces that you can use. So I talked about hot sauce. You can use soy sauce or anything like that. That is 0 calorie. So you have the flexibility to add spices, and you can use any type of sauce that is 0 calorie. Same thing for salad dressing. So if you can find a 0 calorie, low sugar salad dressing, you can use that as well.
Cool.
When we talk about 0 calorie items though, we're only talking about sauces. You cannot add anything else. Like if you find a cake with 0 calories, it's not on the list.
Yeah, you can't take the final sentence in the meal plan that says if it's 0 calories you can eat it and apply that to any of the major categories.
Yeah.
That's cheating. No, that was only for the spices. So just to give you some clarity with that. All right, and let's talk about water.
Yes. Okay. It's so important. So just to be blunt, like you gotta drink it. I'm sorry if you don't like it. Find a way to like it. It's what you're gonna do is you're going to shoot. I'm gonna give you 2 goals, okay? You want to try and shoot for like the top. We're really trying to change our bodies and make a difference, right? So a gallon of water is what I would love for you to drink, best case scenario. But I also know that people can struggle with water. So, and sometimes we get busy.
Mm-hmm.
So what your minimum is going to be is you're going to take your body weight. So let's just say we weigh 100 pounds. Okay. We're going to take that and divide it in half, and that will be in ounces how much water. So if we weigh 100 pounds, half of 100 is 50. So we're going to drink 50 ounces of water minimum a day. You're going to do that for your weight. Best case scenario, shoot for the gallon. Worst case scenario, bare minimum, you want that half. And the reason is that water is such an important feature when you're trying to lose weight. It flushes out your toxins. It helps get the oxygen flowing throughout your body so that it can repair your muscles. The quicker we can repair our muscles, the more we can build them. It also is going to help with like using the restroom. It's going to help with like making your hair shiny, your skin look great.
So if I'm at 210 pounds, I've got quite a bit of water I'm going to have to drink.
No, it's mindset.
Okay.
You only have 105 ounces.
So the way I like to do it is I like to get just a 1 gallon jug of water, and I actually like to put a line so I know when I'm, kind of a third. And I'm not big at drinking it out of the jug. I know some of you are, which is cool. I like to actually pour it into another container and then just always go from that. And as soon as I empty it, refill it back up. And then my goal is, obviously to, finish those things off at the end of the day. So I'll start my day with a full one and then refill halfway through until I finish my goal.
Yeah, that's great. And like just little tips, like he said, he likes to do it that way. Sometimes I've heard drinking out of a straw makes it easier for a lot of people. For me personally, if you're a visual type of person, I love stuff. Like if I could go buy a new water bottle, if I have something really cool, it'll make me want to drink out of that water bottle. So remember what your points are. What are things that really you get excited about, and then make your water that type of thing.
Cool. So you've been coaching hundreds and hundreds of people to success. Just leave them with a couple, what are some of the common questions or anything else that comes up in terms of where they need a little bit of guidance?
Yeah, so I would say the most common mistakes, there's the most common. First of all is not eating all the food.
Okay.
Usually when I don't see results on people after the 3rd week, and I really dig down and really find out what's happening, majority of the people are not eating all the meals. They're skipping a meal, or they think if they skipped 1 meal this day and then 1 meal, that's not a big deal, but it's a huge deal. So you need to make sure that you're eating this and not cutting the portion size. If it says 6 ounces of chicken, eat all 6 ounces, or whatever it is that you're eating, you have to finish the food. So that's one of the most common things. Other common thing is they nail the food and completely neglect the water.
Okay.
That will also cause you to not lose weight. You need to make sure that you are eating the correct amount of food. You need to make sure that you are drinking the correct amount of water, and sleep is very, very important. And if you're one of those people who averages like 5 hours of sleep, that's okay. I would recommend like the sleep multiplier supplement, because it's going to help you maximize the most out of those 5 hours. Sleep is another huge component to this. So you don't need to expand your hours of sleep. You just need good quality sleep and good muscle repair. So I would recommend sleep multiplier. But that is one of the most common ones. Not measuring is another one. I eyeballed it.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, let's be realistic for a minute. We've got to really go all in if we're going to do this. So measure your food. Target has scales for really inexpensive, Amazon, and then measure everything, even the rice, whatever it is that you're eating. You can,
measuring cups too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can get those at the dollar store.
Yeah.
So super, super inexpensive.
So go get a food scale. Make sure your measuring cups are up to speed and use them. One of the things we will be asking you when we're helping you out is, was that 6 ounces or 4 ounces, whatever your meal plan said, of protein? And we don't want you to say, I think so. Right? We want you really measuring. So we want you to do that. The other thing that we like about the reason why we want to make this particular change is this is we're really teaching you and resetting you on exactly how to eat. Also, I think the idea of reducing our carbs at night is a really positive idea in terms of everything else that I've read in terms of studies. So I'm excited about doing this with you in terms of just putting the food tracker away for the next 42 days and really focusing on following this meal plan. I think this meal plan is something that I could really sustain forever, right?
You can.
I've done keto, I've done intermittent fasting, but those are really tough to do forever.
Yes.
Right? So I think this is going to be good for me as well to take a break from some of those other things and
you can always fall back on this, and it's going to give you a balanced, healthy meal, and that's what's really great about it. I mean, you can use this anytime. This isn't something that's going to not be trendy in a couple of months or years, and this is something that you can sustain and have a normal life. It's very hard when you start pulling stuff and trying to live certain types of lifestyles when you have social events or you have, a long-term goal, and then you start missing the things that you want. This is going to teach us how to build a good size plate and how to pair things so that way in the future what you need to do and how you can make things fit together.
Cool. So a couple other things before we let you go. We're coming up on the 30-minute mark. Candace, thank you so much for being a part of this. As we take a look at what you're eating, we're also going to be doing some other things to try to help you out. So obviously, if you're working out 3 times a week, we're going to give you a little bit different advice than if you're working out 5-6 days a week. There are some times that even though that we're going to suggest one meal plan, because there's 4 different meal plans in this program, we may suggest one meal plan to you, but if we find at the 3-week mark that you're working out 5-6 days a week, and there's many cases where you have learned that they really need to be kicked up to the higher meal plan, that they need more calories, right? So don't freak out if we tell you that you're still not eating enough. I think that's the one thing that just in sitting down with Candace over the last, couple days and really learning from her members and what they've done is, it's a big problem not eating enough. That body goes in starvation mode and holds on to all of that stubborn fat and will not release it. So we're really going to help you, achieve your goals by getting you to eat more. And then I think the water, I don't think we've emphasized the water enough in this studio. So I think just focusing back on your hydration is going to be important. You're still going to be able to communicate with all of your accountability team through the My Coach app. So please use that to answer your questions. Or to ask your questions, and we'll answer them there. All of the materials will be in there, and we're also putting, besides the meal plans in there, we do have a cooking guide, a cookbook that we're going to be up, that's in the app now for you to see. So that's something new with this particular challenge. We're excited about bringing that as well. Candace, again, thank you for your time.
Yeah, anytime. You guys are going to crush it. I'm so excited for you.
There you go. All right, we'll see you guys on the mat. See you later.
Bye.